Good morning. My name is Jacob Folger, and I'm a sculptor and an artist. And here on my channel, I show people how to do the things I do. And today, we're going to make a miniature Japanese rock garden that holds an air plant. I'm going to talk a moment about the air plants. Um, They don't require soil, and you can, put them just about anywhere. They get their nutrients from the air, but they do need to be, um, you know, allowed to be good and wet on a regular basis. They do like humidity, so any kind of greenhouse situation is good, or a terrarium is good. Um, they do tend to like that. Um, they just to let you know, when they're kind of dry and needing moisture, they're a very light green, silvery color, and when they have been properly watered, they take on a much darker green color like this. And actually, the best way to water them is to just put them in a bowl of water for like an hour or two. Um, and so when I show you how to make this thing, the holder. I'm gonna show you how to make it very easy to take the plants out and water them, because you definitely want to take care of the plants. And there's all different kinds of these plants, as far as the way they look, the way they appear. They come in different colors, different shapes and sizes. Some of them flower, so it really depends on what you want. You can find them online. You probably can find them at garden centers, sometimes hardware stores, and that sort of thing. And so another thing that you can tell about their health is they tend to be kind of springy, kind of springy. And if they're not looking good, then they'll be kind of just very loose and not springy at all, and that silvery light green color. So that's that. And so we're gonna talk about making this garden. You can make them in different sizes. It really depends on what you want. This is the first one I ever made, and it's we're gonna make a design similar to that today. And so we'll go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to talk about the type of clay I use. This is the packaging for Sculpt 3. I do emphasize 3 because Sculpt does have a number of different types of polymer clay, and I have found by experimentation that the Sculpt number 3 brand is the one to get. And that's that. So I would get that. They come in 2-ounce packages, I believe 8-ounce packages, and also a pound. I generally buy it by the pound. They come in different colors, but I use black, and the reason why is it's the base color for most of my finishes and the things that I do with it. Although we're not going to be doing a finish on it today, we're just going to leave it black, because I think it'll look nice for this particular situation. But this is what I've got, is black, and then also we won't have to paint it. And a couple of things you have to know about polymer clay is that you do have to knead it, before using it, and that's just a matter of squeezing it and getting it to kind of warm up to your hands, and just get soft and pliable. And then for the garden, so first we got to go ahead and do the kneading here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a ball like this, and this is just kind of to get started. So, and I'm just rolling it between my hands like that. And okay, so we kind of got a ball. One thing that rolling does is if there's any imperfections or little marks in the clay, it actually takes them out and smooths it out really nice. And so that kind of gives us a nice start. And then you can roll it a little bit to and fro like this to create an oblong shape like that. Now on the garden, the way I want to do this is I want to have where the plant sits, I want that to be above the actual portion where the garden is sitting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press down on the clay here. As I'm working on this, I'm just going to peel it away from the base of the table or whatever I'm working on so it doesn't stick there, because I want to move it around, and also later on we're going to cook it. So I don't want it to get stuck to the table, obviously. So I'll just pick it up every once in a while. So we want a surface area for the plant up here to be about the size of a quarter. So to allow for the hole for the plant and all that. And you can just press it in with your thumb, and then every once in a while pick it up and look at it and make sure that everything is uniform. So this is actually going to be like an oval shape. You could make it any shape you want, but this one's going to be kind of an oval shape. The concave portion of the garden that holds the sand, it doesn't have to be that deep at all, really. So I'm just kind of forming it here and making it fairly uniform. Pardon the sirens if you can hear them. I live in Washington, D.C. And we have a lot of sirens. It's unfortunate. Okay. It's actually an incredibly warm morning. It's a very warm morning, and I have the window wide open. And right now it's only about 5:30 in the morning. I'm kind of an early riser. Okay, so that's basically, we got the shape down. You can take your time to smooth it out with your thumb, with your fingers. Really, I have found that using your fingers as much as possible when you're sculpting at all, anything, using your hands is the best tool. The human hand is an amazing creation, and it's really the best tool for these things. A lot of people say, well, maybe I can use a knitting needle or something to smooth it, or they'll try to come up with ways to smooth it. Really, the best way to smooth clay is with your fingers. And polymer clay, definitely your fingers. I mean, I have found for my own uses. Okay, so it's looking pretty good, and so we're going to go ahead and continue here. Now, you can, for this particular project, you don't need a lot of tools. In fact, you don't really need much of anything as far as buying anything goes. But I'm going to use a sculpting tool just to open up the hole for the holder, and I'm just going to put that right here. I'm just going to basically, press in. This is a sculpting tool that I got at an art store. Actually, I have only two sculpting tools like that. Just to show you, I also use paintbrushes a lot. I use both ends of the paintbrush. Sometimes I'll use a knife. Sometimes I'll even use a pair of scissors. But today, we really don't need much. You could do this little hole with anything really, a pencil or anything that you can find that's shaped like that. And so you just basically press down into the clay. The hole doesn't have to be open. It doesn't have to go all the way through. If it does, that's okay. But the main thing is to have it big enough to hold the root part of the plant, of most any size plant. So we had this plant on the other garden, and of course that's going to be a little bit smaller than this bigger plant. And you definitely want to stick it in there and see how it looks. That looks really nice. That's pretty. That's really pretty like that. That plant is just right for that. I like that. So, but you want to test it and make sure that the plant will go in and out without much of a problem at all. Because I want to make it really easy for you to water your plants because you want to keep your plants healthy and happy. So, okay. So we got that. Now the hole is in there, and since I put the plant in there, the roots and that sort of thing probably scarred up the sides a little bit of the holder, so we just want to smooth that out. All right, next part we're gonna do is we're going to make. You can of course get stones, little pebbles, and that sort of thing out in your yard, or something like that, and you can use those. But some people, don't get outside that much. I'm trying to kind of help everyone here, and so I'm just going to show you how you could make pebbles. And basically all you have to do is like roll, um, you know, first of all, knead it a little bit, and then just roll it into random shapes to create what maybe what a little pebble would look like. Okay, and then you make two or three, however many you want. So that's how you make the little pebbles. It's really easy to do that. And then the other thing is you can make a rake. Now keep in mind this garden is going to be really small, and you're not going to be able to rake that much of a design in it. But if you just want to have the rake as part of your little thing, then let's go ahead and make a rake. So the best way to do this is to knead the clay first. Always knead the clay. Roll it into a ball, but as you're rolling, roll it so that you're rolling kind of a cone like this. So you've got a point. The point is going to be the handle. The best way to do this is to make the rake all at once, the handle and the tines also, because you're it'll be a lot more solid in the end of the day. And then you can flatten the part where the tines are going to be. You can flatten that slightly like that, and so that's what you got so far. This is when maybe scissors could come in handy. You could just make a little snip here and a little snip here, and then just pull those pieces apart a little bit like that so you can get your fingers in there, and then just sharpen the tines by squeezing them like that. Alright, and then just fold them down slightly like that, and there you have. It's a very simple rake, but it's definitely a rake. In fact, it even looks better than the other one I made. And if you wanted to make the handle longer, you could just roll it out a little bit like this to make it longer. And that rake will be a functional rake. I'm certain of it, because this one I made earlier, it definitely works. Now, let's talk about sand. Now, this time we haven't cooked this yet. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to show you sand and where to get sand and that sort of thing. I have another small container of it here. It's kind of got some junk in it. Sitting on my work table here. But you can get sand at the hardware store. They have it. They have play sand is very popular. That's what this is. It's a very fine sand. Sometimes you can go online and you can find different color sands. I would prefer really white sand, but at the time when I was looking for sand for another project, I opted for this. I bought a big bag of it. I got a huge bag of this stuff. Anyways, so I just use it, and it's pretty enough. But if it was my choice, I would have gotten white sand. But you can get all different colors. They have all different colors, and just put it in the just put it in there. I don't want to put it in here because this hasn't been cooked yet, and the sand will mess it all up. So okay, so that's basically that, and then you can just get your plant in there and like that, and Make sure, of course, you water your plants. I'm a big advocate for watering your plants. I mean, I think a lot of people will put their plants out and they say, oh, they're air plants, so you don't have to do anything. Well, you do. You have to maintain them, and we want to keep them happy too. So now we're going to talk about cooking. So when you cook this, you would want to put all the elements, the stones, in a in a on a plate, and you want to use one of those shiny ceramic plates, something that can cook in the oven, that will go in the oven, it won't hurt it, it won't break. And you always want to put the elements away from each other. You don't want you don't want the elements touching each other. You wouldn't want to put the rocks in there like that, because those pieces will be stuck together after it's all cooked. Okay, so you separate them. You don't let them get together. And then also you preheat your oven at 275. The cooking times, suggested cooking times, are pardon me, are for every 1/4 inch of mass. So if we have here a 1/4 inch thick, then you would cook it for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch, and that's how you measure it. You should also check the directions on the packaging. Go online, research it a little bit, make sure you're cooking at the right times. These are the times I cook it. Something like this I'll cook for a half hour to 40 minutes. And so that's basically how we do it. And then you can fill it with sand. It will come out, if you look, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but it's a nice flat matte black sheen on it. If you wanted it to be really shiny, you could, maybe spray it with acrylic or clear acrylic or painted acrylic on it. But other than that, it's a nice flat black matte sheen, and just have fun with it. It's really, these are really a lot of fun. And water your plants, okay? And again, my name is Jacob Folger. I'm a sculptor and artist, and my channel has just about 400 videos on it for all kinds of how-to things, mostly art, and it's like lots of really good information on my channel. If you liked the video, please click like. Please comment. Tell me what you think of my video. And if you have any questions or anything, just either comment or send me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I have a lot of energy for this. I really don't mind people contacting me. I really want to help you guys, get moving in on the creative end in your life, for sure. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.